So, facing our women here, John, I'll ask you too. If a billionaire, whoever, was to offer any type of money, millions, not a million was a lot when this movie came out. Million's nothing now. So we'll increase that to way more than $1 million. Is there even a 1% that would you and your husband even consider this?
Suppose I were to offer you $1 million for one night with your wife.
I feel like my intro was already great.
All right, so another episode. We just had a very
thanks for joining us. All right, cool.
that was very X-rated. I enjoyed that though. That was fun.
I feel like it was like educational. You really think about it.
Educate, yes.
Sex ed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode is, I hope you tuned in the last one where we talked about Sasha doing man on the street stuff or operator air TV, and we talked about all other fun stuff and going through the right process of getting from not first base to home plate, right? Mm-hmm. And what it takes to get there. New ep is going to be all on our genre this week is romance, and we're going to talk about, which me and John have nothing to do on this one. We're going to talk about dating and being married in the Vegas industry and how that is. So, Sasha, you are married for 5 years, correct?
So, married for 3 years.
3 years.
Together for 5.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you meet in Vegas?
No, we actually met in LA out of all places.
Weird.
Like right outside of LA. So, before I moved to Vegas, I used to be a product specialist for Alfa Romeo, and he's a professional driver. So, we were on this tour together. Gosh, we were on this like 3 or 4 month tour. And we met in LA, and I didn't know that he lived in Vegas. He didn't nothing about me. I knew I wanted to move to Vegas, but that wasn't like a deciding factor. But yeah, we met in LA, and we met outside of the industry, you know. But I mean, within our own industry of the car stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say like his industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of how we met, but we did not meet in Vegas. Nope.
And Ty, you've been in your relationship for how long now?
4 years.
Okay. 4 years, 5 years. And how is it? So you guys are both in the industry, and the fact that you guys are waitresses that work for the clubs. How is it going into your profession, like when you are married and you're dealing with bachelor parties and you're dealing with single men and you're dealing with all these like rich dudes that are going to be constantly hitting on you? What's that life like?
Honestly,
how much trust?
Wait, pause. Do you wear your ring at work? I would hope.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, okay. Absolutely, 100%.
Some girls don't, so I just like to ask.
I get a lot of compliments on my ring.
See the ring? See the ring?
Hi, Zachy. See the ring?
And I see each guest like I don't see him, like a hot bachelor. Like, no, like you are a guest, and I'm here to make you, drinks, and I'm the fun enforcer, right? Yes.
I know you see it that way, but these guys are definitely...
They don't. But
not all of them. Some of them are cool.
No, some of them are cool.
Yes.
I'm somebody who, like, I love my husband so much that, like, when somebody remotely, I feel like, starts to hit on me, I'd be like, yeah, me and my husband have done this before.
I was going to drop that little
literally, I will enforce that. Like, I will say it so many times to get it through their brain that it's like, it ain't happening, you know?
So I don't think me and John were hitting on you at all today, especially the first 2 minutes, but you mentioned your husband on your second sentence.
Really?
In the kitchen, yeah, and you didn't even notice it. And I love that you did it, though. Because I right away, I'm like, okay, this is a woman that, like, loves her husband and is definitely, and again,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Nobody was hitting on anybody, but right away.
Nobody was. We were having an actual conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was
genuine.
like, I was just meeting you, and literally like the second or third sentence, already the husband's being brought up. So well done to the hubby.
Yes, congratulations.
That's good.
Great.
You actually want to.
Have you ever had like a table like I don't know, like use it against you, like be like, oh, had you not told me that, then I would have bought this.
No,
oh my god, I get it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I had this table the other day. I got them to buy. They did not drink champagne. They didn't even like champagne. They were like, we want nothing to do with it. But then I got them to buy me and my girlfriend was serving them, but I had served them the day before. I got them to buy a bottle of champagne, and then they were talking to me, whatever. I had mentioned like, oh yeah, me and my boyfriend, blah, 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 something. I can't remember what I was talking about. Or I think I was talking about I was in wine country the weekend before. And the next day they came back again for a third time. And they were like, if you hadn't had mentioned that, we would have bought way more champagne from you. Like, you ruined the vibe by telling us you had a boyfriend. And I was like, okay, first of all, you weren't even going to buy the first one. So suck my dick. I was like, I know that's bullshit. But also, I'm not going to like sit here and lie about my life just to like stroke your little fragile ego.
I forgot you guys can host. We're not allowed to.
Yeah,
that is a
difference.
big factor in the selling of
it is a huge
product.
factor.
Yeah.
Can we talk about those dynamics?
Yeah.
Are you guys okay with talking about that?
Okay. I mean, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
For sure.
I mean, the property I work at, we're union. We're not allowed to drink. That property has never been allowed to drink.
Smart move.
You know, like, we pride ourselves on hospitality and, you know, just like the guest having fun and being able to make a memorable experience.
The guest experience, yeah.
Yeah, guest experience, and hospitality being, you know, the number one thing. Like, I have never really worked in a venue where I was allowed to drink. Like, the venue I worked at before, again, union property, not allowed to drink. So I feel like my, not saying selling skills, but my way of like pushing somebody to get over their minimum or really pushing for that champagne had to be different. You know, I sell it not like, oh, you're buying me stuff. Like, me, like, I take myself out of the equation completely. I am all about the guests. I'm like, what are you doing here? How do you want to make this memorable? You know, whether it be a bachelor party and they link up with a bachelorette party, and I'm like, do you guys like want to celebrate this together? Like, let me bring out a presentation for you, you know? Or it's a birthday. Like, it's all about guest experience. And I remove myself from the equation completely. And of course, people are like, oh, take a drink with me, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm so sorry, I can't. Like, at the other venue that I work at, the pool, we can drink. We can only drink, like, certain types of champagne. But I feel like I myself, like, I'm not big on drinking. Of course, I'll go and I'll host with other girls who have sold champagne. But that is not one of my techniques where I'm like, okay, like, buy me this. Like, it's just, unfortunately, it's not, you know, and I'm sure some people are going to see this.
Yeah, Ty,
like,
what do you think of that, Ty?
So this is the first venue that I've been, well, I guess my last one, I only could if they bought me off the floor. So that was a huge selling point, obviously, for that, because I was going to make guap. So I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
I've worked at a venue like that.
Okay, so that was
I know
one.
exactly what you're talking
and then this is the first venue other than that venue that I've been able to. And I feel like,
what does buying off the floor consist of for the viewer? Just a quick, like,
we definitely talked
summation
about
of it.
this, but you basically pay for me to be off of my shift.
Gotcha.
And then you pay for me for an hour to hang out with you.
Cool. Continue.
And I could drink or I could not drink, whichever.
Gotcha.
I was usually with the homies, so I would drink some champagne. But I did one for 3 hours one time and I didn't drink at all. So I was making great money, so it was fine.
Yep.
So this is the first venue that I've been able to. So I feel like I'm a combo. Like, I have those skills and I use those skills more so that, because I'm not a big drinker either. I don't like to get fucked up. Like, I like to be with myself and together, especially with all the paperwork and everything that we're handling. Like, I'm not trying to fuck anything up.
Nope.
It's not worth my job. So I feel like I lean more that way, but more recently I've been able to be like, you know, oh, if like some people are like, oh, we're just celebrating life. We're not doing anything. Okay, well, let's celebrate with some champagne or the Prezza thing or whatever. But it has been interesting because, so that table, I wasn't even trying really to get them, like, they were just buying weird random bottles. Like, they were just being weirdos. And so it was more like to try to break the ice with him and the girl that was actually serving them, because I had served them before and she said that they were like being really weird to her. So she's like, do you mind coming up there with me and just like kind of helping break the ice? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so then that's what I did. And then it wasn't until the next day, I think I was like, oh, you shouldn't have mentioned that. But I was like, but you were never going to buy it anyways. Yeah. So I don't know. Regardless, it was going to, and what the guy telling me that wasn't even the guy that paid for anything. Oh, so I'm like, get out of here. You weren't going to do shit anyways.
I think that guy just had like no game. So he was just,
that guy was just annoying.
He was picking at anything just to get you to talk to him. And that was one of his topics.
Well, yeah. So then I never went back because I was like, off. But, because I'm not going to lie about who I am. You either want to like hang out. And so the hosting aspect is so different. But I feel like because at that venue, like we all help with everybody's tables. Like everybody works conjoined. And I've been at places where nobody can touch your table except you, because if they touch your table, then it's like them stealing money. So it's a different dynamic, but I feel like I like this dynamic more because at any given time, like, yes, we're all hosting, but there's some that are down to drink, some that aren't. It could be a day that I really don't want to, somebody else will, or we go pretend. Like, I really like the dynamic of it in comparison. But there are some girls that are like, that I've been told from guests, and they're like, I don't like how that girl approached it. Like, she doesn't really know what she's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, totally get that. And then, but then they'll end up buying one for me because I feel like I come from the other.
Do you have coworkers,
aspect.
Ty, or girls in general, waitresses, or yourself that omit the boyfriend or the husband?
I mean, girls wear
sell?
their wedding rings. All the girls in my work who are engaged
do some
wear
of them
their
though
rings.
not to make sales or to make it easier on
Not
themselves?
at the venue I'm currently at, but at my previous venue, yes.
What do we got?
I mean, obviously I've seen some girls not wear wedding rings, and to each their own. Like, I'm not here to trash talk anybody. Like, if you think that's going to get you a higher sale, sure, go for it. Like,
Some girls really stand by it.
And
I just feel like I'm not here to, like, pretend who I am. Like, I'm just that's too exhausting. I can't keep up. Like, I'm just going to tell you who I am, and that's it.
Yeah. And, like, not only that, it's like I'm like, you're coming to Vegas on, like, a, bachelor trip, whatever it may be. Like, you're about to get married. Why are you trying to hit on the waitress?
Yeah.
Like, what?
But
There
again,
was a man the other day wearing his wedding ring on his middle finger, and we were
Oh,
all like,
Lord.
babe, we see you.
Oh,
Like, we
my
know
gosh.
that's your wedding ring on your middle finger. Like, you don't got to lie to kick it. Like, if you're going to be like that, just
Yeah.
own it at that point, because we all know.
It's funny. I think you might segue into this, but
yeah, please.
so I've been in the industry in Boston too, and like,
Where you from in Southie?
I like what you've done with the place.
my husband was never worried, ever. And coming here and working in Vegas, I feel like some of our friends, might have gotten into his head, and like maybe the first like few months of me getting, into the Vegas industry, he was a little worried.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of reassurance of like, I am here to just collect a check and go home. Because deep down who I am. I'm not a party girl. I'm a homebody. Like, I'm not that person. I'm here to make some money so we can have a better future together.
Are you saying it because the Vegas girls, your peers, may have worse morals than the
Yes.
Boston girls?
No, not necessarily. I just feel
They're
like
not worse, but friskier.
It's a
No.
different realm. Like, there's
Yeah.
more opportunity here
Yes.
than there.
because here you get people from all over the world, right? Like billionaires that come over and they're like, oh my gosh, let me take you out. Let's go gambling afterwards. All these things. And like, I feel like the people who got into his head were people who had bad experiences with certain type of women that did that. And it just
Industry
ended.
women.
Yes. Yeah.
I
And
had a
it
guy
ended badly.
the other night. He was like, at my table, he was like, so how do you find guys that want to date you guys? Like, what kind of guys want to date you? I'm like, the kind that aren't fucking stupid. I don't know.
no,
like, the
yeah.
You make
kind
it
that...
sound like you're a hooker. Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, the kind that literally can handle this. I don't know. I was like, normal guys. I'm like, I just come here to work and leave. Like, it's not like I'm. And
No,
he
yeah.
wasn't even anybody. I'd maybe touched the table like 3 times at that point. Like, they had just arrived, and he was asking me that question. I'm like, people come here, and it's just such a fantasy world and such a different realm for them that they don't think about outside life. And I'm like, I get that this like looks really cool and like this is crazy and whatever, but like to me, it's not. And to my boyfriend, it's not. Like, it's a very average. It's like, it's not average, but it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm here to collect money and I'm going home,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So
I have never gone out with a guest afterwards.
No?
Never. I have never. Like,
can't
I
say I have
no,
done.
I just it's more so of a thing of like I need
But
to
I
have
also
a very
don't have a
strict-
ring on my finger, so there's a difference.
But I mean, before I was married, like
You should've
Just
looked-
kidding. No, my
You should have looked
boyfriend's
straight
really
in the
cool.
camera when you did that too. Like, I don't have a ring either.
No, listen, I know it's on the way, so I'm just talking shit. Okay. But I have met some really cool people networking wise.
Yeah.
And it's more for me, and this is gonna sound really selfish, but I'm like, I need to stay connected with these
No,
people
absolutely.
for future reference.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend is super understanding of that, and like I don't ever go out by myself. Like, my girlfriends and I will sometimes, like, if it's good, we did a dinner at the other hotel.
Yeah.
We did dinner there one night at just cut it out. And I was like, I can't say no to that. Like, that's and
Yeah.
it was put on by Like, my girlfriend's a sommelier, so she went and picked out all the wines. I'm like, I'm not going to say, I can't say no to that.
I feel like it's different when it's like people within our own industry. You know what I mean? But if it's like some Joe Schmo that's coming in from out of town and he like, you know, spent
No, they were
$200,000
from out of town.
Oh, they were.
But they were good connections to have
okay.
from out of
So,
town.
yeah.
And they're regulars. So it's kind of
Okay.
like it's not that I'm never going to see them again. It was a connection that's like,
Yes.
also need to continue that rapport. And the girl I went with has known them for like 10 years. So
Okay.
it wasn't,
It's
different.
Yeah.
It's not like just, a Joe Schmo one night, whatever. No, I'm not doing any of that
Because,
shit.
I mean, it does happen. It happens where
It
like
does.
the guy will drop 200, 300K at the club, you know.
I
Some
want to
girls,
take the girls out.
yes, and they're like super impressed. And like, I'm someone who's like, for the other girls, oh my God, go have fun. If you're going to go gamble afterwards, go make money. Like, for me, I'm like, I just want to go home.
No, for
I
sure.
want to go home to my dogs. I want to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
And wake up the next morning
No,
and just
always.
not be like, oh my God.
Are you selective with like the guests you tell that to? Because I think there'd be like actual cool guys that are whatever they're made. I'd
Okay,
be
like if it
coming
was a
on
regular
too
10
much.
years, they're a good connection to have. It's a good dinner. You didn't have work the next day. Or I did have work the next day. But I wasn't doing a double. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go enjoy a nice dinner. I don't even actually think my boyfriend might have been out of town actually at the time. And it's like, okay, my girlfriend that's known them forever was going, so it felt safe. So I was like, okay, for that type of thing, I'll do it. But that's the only time I've done it this year because I'm like, okay, that was the only one that was like safe, felt good, and also they're going to be a great connect to have. But, and they're going to come back all the time.
Yeah.
But others, I'm like, no, I would rather go to bed. I want to go home and
Yep.
sleep. Like, I want to shower. I want to relax. I want to elevate my feet before I have to be back on them another 16 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing
I
it.
think with me and you, it's a little bit different because I work overnight and you're
Yeah.
like daytime.
It is
that I'm
different
just
for
like,
sure.
oh my gosh.
Oh,
like,
yeah, by that
oh,
time, hell no.
hell no. Because I'll be like,
Because they're going for, like, breakfast.
they're going to the strip club to go have chicken tenders afterwards. And I'm like,
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do
Is go
no.
be at another place.
But
yeah,
also
that
it-
is the difference.
And then again, like it's like we are so structured at the venue that I work at. Like we don't, I don't know. Like a lot of the girls I know don't go out like afterwards. You know?
Well, and like you said, it's a nightclub, so I feel like
Yeah.
it is a different vibe. Like, mine was at 6 p.m. and dinner was at 8. I'm like, all right, I could be home before midnight
Different.
and still be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I do know girls who do. They constantly go out,
yeah.
and I'm like, are you guys okay? Like,
yeah.
how are you functioning like that? It's pretty wild.
John, if you're going to a club or a beach club, nightclub, are you the type that's hoping that your waitress is single and kind of like being bubbly and not hitting on you guys, but that you're aware she's single and there could be a possibility for more, or does it not matter to you?
Absolutely not.
I was
Okay.
going to say, I could answer this. I've seen John in the club. I know how he operates.
How does he operate?
Absolutely not.
He's really to himself. He doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I've tried to find him entertainment before many times,
I'll just sit there and be like, no,
he
I'm good.
he
He's
wants
chilling.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's the most, and it was free. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just, a lot of guys are, we said this earlier, whether we can get into the guys that are married, but
Yeah.
the guys that come to the club, again, guys, most of these guys don't have any game. And so a girl is actually talking to them,
Yeah.
you being the girl or you.
Yeah.
And so they're just thinking, oh, she's being nice. She's this. Please tell me she's single. Maybe there's like a shot. Instead of, I'm going to go hit on like which you can't even hit on girls in clubs anymore. It's like impossible.
It's too loud.
But,
It's too much.
But that's the only reason. Not that they should be disappointed and it shouldn't affect their tip towards you or the way they treat you.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, these guys, it just is like a huge bummer and a huge wall right away. Like, oh, she already brought up her husband. Fuck.
Great.
But and so you kind of covered this, but my question is, have you chose to not bring that up to guys that you could tell that it could affect them, or you're just going to
No.
always be you?
No,
Sounds like you're just going to always be you. And,
It's better
and if
that
they don't
way.
like it, fuck it.
Absolutely.
like I've always been
She's
myself.
never gonna see him again. Why would you?
No,
There's no
yeah.
reason to change
Well,
yourself.
yeah, but a lot of girls are
Yeah.
greedy, or they think it's going to help their tip or whatever they got to do.
They
and,
want that
and-
over tip. They want.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like honesty is key, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not going to change who I am just to maybe get a couple extra bucks. Like
well, and if you
Yeah.
have to do that for an over tip, that just feels yucky.
it does.
It's
It-
just
it
like,
feels like I don't
no.
know.
It's disingenuous in
I
the
would-
most part.
I would rather like if let's say that guest like actually liked me and knew more about me, that they were like, wait, she's actually cool. Like when I come back, I
You are
would,
pretty cool.
Thanks. like I think that they might want to request me again because I was honest, because I wasn't trying to push a sale based on, ooh, if you buy this like bottle of champagne, like you'll be able to get with me. Like,
there are a lot of girls that use that angle though, and it's actually baffling to me. I was gonna say actually, so those guys that we went to dinner with, a lot of them, they were a part of this whole group, and it was like a men's group, and so some of them are divorced, some are having their first kids, some their last kid is graduating, and so with them, it felt very easy to be like, oh yeah, me and my boyfriend, blah, 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 and like talk to them and like almost like get guidance from them, because each of them have had such a different life experiences in their relationships and marriages and stuff. And so I feel like those kind of groups are worth like staying in connection with and being more, not intimate with, but being more like, I don't know, involved with. Yeah. Because you're like, okay, this is a very normal thing. Like it wasn't malicious. It wasn't that they were trying to get with you. Obviously they would love to, but it wasn't like that was the whole motive. It was just good company, good food, good wine, and good networking. Yeah. And so I feel like for that, it makes sense. But a lot of girls, it's just like they'll just go for whatever, which is like, crazy.
And not to knock them, because it's like, if that is your hustle,
that's your hustle. Exactly.
Girl, keep hustling, because you are making a bag at work, maybe outside of work. You go gambling with these guys. Oh, I've known girls that have made thousands. And I'm like, get it, girl. Yeah. You know, for me personally, that's just not me.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm boring.
That's a nice little.
No, it's
a nice little bow to tie on that. Ha. So I wanna. Anybody got anything to throw in with this?
No.
So a movie I wanna. Are you a big movie person? A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You ever seen a movie called Indecent Proposal? Not many. It's a little older.
Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal.
Maybe.
It's all right. So
possibly
that's going to be the movie recommendation for this romance that I want you guys to watch as a double feature after this. So Indecent Proposal is Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore, and Robert Redford. And basically, there we go. She's on board. So and I'm going to ask you guys a big question on this, which I think I already know at least one of your answers. So yeah, Woody Harrelson, Demi Moore, they have a great relationship, and it's actually like healthy. They're banging all the time. They show like it's still a very lustful and intimate relationship. They go to Las Vegas. They're down on their luck with money, and they're trying to save their house. Robert Redford is a billionaire named John Gage, and he offers $1 million to them to have one night with Demi. And you guys can, I'm not going to ruin it. You guys can go from there. So, facing our women here, John, I'll ask you too. If a billionaire or whoever was to offer any type of money, millions, not a million was a lot when this movie came out. Million's nothing now. So we'll increase that to way more than $1 million. Is there even a 1% that would you and your husband even consider this?
Suppose I were to offer you $1 million for one night with your wife.
No,
It's a
honestly,
negative.
it's a no. Yeah. I think that money comes and goes, and money's not everything. And
money isn't real, George. Doesn't matter. It only seems like it does.
I don't know. Like it's a no for me. And I feel so dirty. I don't know.
Good for you. No,
I don't know.
That's great.
Let's see what Ty says.
I am boring as fuck. No.
No, I don't think Garrett would do it. I don't think he would.
I don't think Garrett would do it.
No, I don't think. No, in a relationship, obviously, there's two people, so you have to think about it. And my first initial thought is that Garrett would never do that, so I would never even propose it to him, because why would I propose something that I know is going to be like hurtful to him?
Yeah, but everybody has a number.
Yeah, I don't know if he.
And real quick,
it depends what the number is, I guess, but I don't know if he would do it still.
I'll
ask him after
we
this.
might be both be chumps with this. I'm right there with you, Garrett. If that is your answer, I wouldn't want my woman.
I don't think he would. So that's why I don't think about it as my answer. I think about it what his answer would be.
Our answer as a collective.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, because I'm not going to do something that disrespects him, and that would disrespect the relationship. So it wouldn't cross my mind first either. But I'm thinking like, okay, initially, if somebody came to me and offered me that, my reaction would be no, because I already know that he would not appreciate that at all. He'd be like, okay, sayonara, buddy.
So we got a no. John, I'm going to shift to you. We're going to go to a different movie, Kingpin, and go to Hezekiah Munson and Randy Quaid when they get offered $1 million to have sex with each other.
I will pay you $1 million to sleep with your friend here. $1 million, one night, cash.
Would you ever? Would you do anything? Would you allow your woman to do that with John Gage for $1 million, or a lot of money more than $1 million?
Like I said, everybody has their number, and it would have to be, I wouldn't say substantial, but I would have to look at it as we're in a relationship, like to talk
this is also
talk to my significant other about it.
for you. It's easier because it's like a fake woman, so you're not
Exactly.
even considering her.
Yeah, am I still considering? Yeah,
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I would definitely do it. That
Right.
girl that doesn't exist yet.
it's like John for $1 million. I'm sucking it.
But you know what it is? It's terrible.
Sorry.
Terrible that I will say. If I was with my ex, my answer would have changed.
Really?
Isn't that
Well,
terrible?
that's
isn't
good.
Isn't that weird?
Well,
Yeah, but
that's
it's
how
a-
you know
it's a
you're with the
boyfriend
right
though, right?
person. Though.
But like, yeah, if I was
Okay, knock it
oh
off.
my god, no, if I was with my ex, my answer would have changed. I would.
Why do you think?
Would he have encouraged it?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
it's a different level, right? You got to think boyfriend and husband.
Well,
You know
I
what
mean,
But-
we were very serious. Like we were, it was
Okay.
a thing of like we
working
were gonna,
towards that.
we were
yeah.
gonna start a family. Like it was there. Yeah.
He would have been like,
But he
go
would
get
have
that money.
pimped you out on it,
Yes.
kind of.
Damn.
Yeah.
Waz is judging us real hard right now, Ty.
No.
We both said no, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's going,
You
suckers.
lying.
You
Tell him that when you get there.
Waz is really gonna give us an earful
suckers.
You really, yeah.
All right, so, but yeah. Well, you're also actually in love.
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
Well,
also
yeah, that's
helps.
how you know you're
Yes.
with the right person.
Yes.
All right. This was fantastic. I'm so happy you came
enjoyed every
on
moment.
today, Sasha. We talked about a lot of random stuff. And got into a lot of relationship talk, which was awesome. Do your real quick, your friend Spicy Mayo, would she want to go on a date? I'm gonna let you be her sponsor right
gosh.
now. Would she
I-
want to be on a date?
I think she is open to meeting new people. I think so. Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, I think she is.
Now we
100%.
just gotta-
Finally.
Now we just gotta
Fucking
find.
finally.
Yeah, see how this goes.
No,
We
I
just
Let
get-
me look in
No,
my
no,
fucking archives
listen.
of people that I know want to
think
do
she-
it.
I think she would be.
Ty's got a fleet. I got.
No,
some
I
dudes.
literally
Ty's
have
got a
so
fleet of
many
guys
men.
waiting.
But again, like I'm speaking for somebody else.
Yes.
That's
We'll talk to her.
But I think she would. I think she would find it
I
to
mean,
be
it's
a cool
fun.
experience.
It's
Yeah.
literally like everybody. I feel like not everybody, but some people take it so serious and they're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, it's just fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's
yeah.
literally just one thing. Like
It's
it's,
a free
not
meal.
that
Just
serious.
go.
It's a free meal and just come on and talk about it. It's not that big of a fucking deal.
Yeah.
Well, if she says no, we'll get John Gage to send her $1 million and give her the offer.
There you go.
Then she'll take it.
Let's do it. Or like I said, like 10 million at this point. All right, guys, this was awesome. Any parting words? Ty, any words of wisdom?
No, I think I gave everything I had today.
Nice. This was awesome. We're gonna go to San Gennaro. Come see.
Yes,
come
I'm
hang out
eating
with
my
us.
pasta.
Yeah.
This is
By the
great.
time this episode comes out, it will be done. But hey, we're gonna be
But
there.
I'll be back
We'll
in
see ya.
September.
See you in September.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Well done.